Would you believe at 25 years old, this person refuses to wear a seatbelt? And apparently he's not the only one. And when I asked him his reasons why, it left me speechless.
Everyone's time comes to an end at some stage. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. I'm meant to die at a younger age, I'm meant to die.
It's absolute BS, but yeah, great way to justify it. So I put him through a series of vigorous tests. And you wouldn't believe what broke him in the end.
I don't think you're taking this serious enough. Why don't we put you in the back of one so you can actually relive exactly what would happen?
This video is a paid partnership with BetterHelp. A few months ago, I posted a video that reached over 1 million views across social media, and it was all because of this issue. No one seems to wear their seatbelts anymore. And when they're not wearing their seatbelt, they have one of these. So that goes in there, and then it avoids them having to wear their seatbelt. I was absolutely shocked by the number of people who said they don't wear their seatbelt. I don't get it. I even arranged to meet someone who said,
I don't feel comfortable with it. I feel a bit claustrophobic.
And I couldn't let it go. I had to do something about it. For obvious reasons, I kept him anonymous.
If I'm choosing not to wear my seatbelt, then I'm gonna get hurt, aren't I? Regardless of what happens.
You also have a clicker in the car, don't you?
I do.
Let me see it. So this here is to obviously turn the beep off.
Yes.
But the problems with this is that when you put this in, the car thinks you're wearing a seatbelt.
Correct.
So the car will react, if God forbid again,
Yeah.
in an accident, based on you wearing a seatbelt.
Yeah.
If you had kids and they said to you they weren't wearing a seatbelt, what would be your reaction to that?
But if I had kids, I think differently. I think, yeah, I've got to wear my seatbelt.
It doesn't make sense to me. How long have you not been wearing your seatbelt for?
I don't know, 5 years?
5 years.
Yeah.
What would it take for you to wear your seatbelt?
Probably me to get hurt. Like, you know when they say you have to learn the hard way? That's how I've always functioned.
There's no way I could let him or anyone learn the hard way, no matter how silly the decision might seem. Every year, there's around 1,500 fatalities in the UK linked to not wearing your seatbelt, and a further tens of thousands of life-changing injuries. Now, to give you context, a seatbelt is a piece of metal that straps you in and clips you into this. In 1959, Volvo engineer Neil Bowling designed the seatbelt that me and you know of today. Volvo actually made the design freely available to all, a decision that saved countless lives worldwide. It's a small piece of engineering, but one of the most effective safety innovations in automotive history. And after all this, there's still people, just like Mr. Anonymous, not wearing a belt. So I arranged to meet up with my good friend Paul, who I called Fowler. He's a firefighter from Willesden Fire Station. I wanted to bring Mr. Anonymous, let's just call him Dave for now, and see if we could knock some sense into him.
I mean, I don't really want to. I don't think it's going to make a difference to me. I think I'm still probably not going to not wear my seatbelt. I probably will still not wear it. I'm going to give it a pass on this one.
All right. It seemed like I couldn't convince Dave, but we're going to go anyway. And if this video changes even one person's decision to wear their seatbelt, it was worth it. So we are now in the, what room are we in?
We call this the watch room.
Okay, and what happens in here?
So this will be our call slip. As this is coming out, this is what you'll hear. So that happens. Everyone makes their way down here. So the duty person,
Right.
They'll take this slip, they'll hand it to the driver, and they will look at the map reference, 43 CB, find your place, and then as the driver, you will work out your route.
Your best route to get there. From that bell, how quick do people need to be in that truck and pulling out of here?
60 seconds.
60 seconds?
Yeah. These boots and leggings will signify who's sitting where.
And every second counts.
Yes, it is a race against time.
And I think it's time to suit up and experience it for myself.
Mobilize. 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 Mobilize.
Okay. Obviously, guys, I'm not a firefighter. These are real firefighters here. We've got the tools, the equipment, the life-saving equipment over there. Are we gonna have a go on this car now?
Absolutely.
I know you've already chopped it up already, but I'm sure there's plenty more pieces we can have a go on.
We can have a go at, yeah.
Okay, so let's do this. In the aftermath of a serious crash, there's a chance you might need to be cut out of your car, especially if there's no other safe way out. That's why I wanted Dave to witness it himself. Seeing it, feeling it, even just lifting the equipment. Firefighters work in incredible, dangerous environments. They don't just make split-second decisions. They also have to physically carry people out of a wreckage. It's a combination of mental pressure, physical stress, and risking everything to save a stranger. All this is happening because someone's involved in an accident. Maybe they haven't worn a seatbelt. They're stuck in the car. This is what you don't see, guys. It's so important to wear your seatbelt. You never want the fire brigade to turn up and start chopping your roof off your car.
Ready, brace, lower.
Again, teamwork. Teamwork, work together. It's a family. It's a massive eye-opener for me today, real big, and I hope for you guys at home that are watching this, you'll understand and experience it as well, because this is why we've shot this video. These guys are trained to deal with scenarios that the average person wouldn't even know where to start.
This is one of our training dummies.
So you've got to get this casualty out of the house, of the building, wherever it may be.
Wherever, out of a car, whatever it is. Now you can imagine we're in fire gear the whole time.
Right. Oh my God. Wow. Obviously, guys, I'm using this with a real person. They don't have this. So how are you moving this person? Like, what would you be doing from here?
Well, you'd
be doing this
in fire gear.
Oh my God. Ugh.
So if you can imagine.
This is only 50 pounds as well.
50 kilos.
50 kilos, sorry. Damn. Ugh. What you're about to hear may shock you or make you feel uncomfortable, but this is the harsh reality of not wearing a seatbelt, guys.
There was 4 males traveling in a car at high speed, hit the central reservation, lost control of the car spun, and none of them were wearing seatbelts, and every single one of them were ejected from the car. That body is propelled towards the windscreen at such a speed and such a force, and when the head hits the windscreen or your body comes into contact with metal, your internal organs are thrown at such a speed into your ribcage, bleed to death internally. None of these outcomes are positive. I just want you to take it from me, for the people that have seen the aftermath, please just put on a seatbelt.
It does have an effect on us. You know, we have to process what we see. To see people die in front of our own eyes, you know, many, many times, is something that we have been trained to deal with. We talk to each other, we process it that way. It stays with you forever. It's pretty traumatic stuff, to be quite honest with you.
This got me thinking. A lot of people who take risks, whether it's extreme sports or just not wearing your seatbelt, often say they do it to break the routine and feel alive. But that need for intensity might be actually pointing to something deeper, something tied to mental health. That is why we're proud that BetterHelp is the paid partner for this video. For many of us, especially men, the most common excuse for not wanting therapy is I don't have time, or I don't actually think I need it. But with BetterHelp, therapy is designed to fit into your life and not the other way around. You can do it from your phone, at home, on the go, whatever works for you. Getting started is simple. Just fill out a brief questionnaire and BetterHelp will match you with a credentialed therapist based on your needs and preferences. You can talk by video call, phone call, or even just a text message, whatever you're most comfortable with. So there's no need to sit in a waiting room or rearrange your life. You can finally talk to someone without making it a whole thing. So if you've been thinking about giving therapy a try, this is your sign. Click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/Yiannimize and use my code for 10% off your first month. During our interview, Dave said something that completely left me speechless. Do you know anyone that's had an accident and be seriously hurt?
Yeah, a friend of mine, he actually died because he was driving a bit erratically, never had a seatbelt on. He tried to do an emergency brake, not in time, and he went through the windscreen and through that back windscreen of another car.
Yet here we are still not wearing a seatbelt, even though you had a friend die based on not wearing a seatbelt.
Yeah. I just get in the car and drive. Putting a seatbelt on, now it doesn't become a thing. It's just, I don't know, I can't explain it, it's just a thing. Once you become in this habit, it's like you can't get out of it. I am cautious, as in I drive to the speed limit, I don't speed, I don't, take sharp corners. I drive sensible. And that's why I feel also comfortable not wearing a seatbelt. I've always thought in my head that if I was actually to die or be in a car, or under a car, or on a car, or somewhere, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. If I'm meant to die at a younger age, I'm meant to die. If I'm meant to die at an older age, I'm meant to die. It just happens.
I've had close friends survive near-death experiences all because they did wear their seatbelt. Like my friend Joe, who was lucky enough to live another day thanks to that small choice.
Right, so there's 4 of you in the car now.
4 of us in the car. We hit the curb, slid, missing the other cars on the road, hit the curb on the left-hand side, and with such momentum and force, we flipped upside down. So the last thing I remember seeing before I passed out, because obviously the airbags then went off, and was tarmac through the windscreen. And thankfully we had a guy from the Royal Navy, a food delivery driver, all pull over and basically rescued us.
The fact that you're all wearing your seatbelts, did the police say anything about if any of you weren't wearing your seatbelt?
The policewoman, he went, someone was watching over you that day, and the fact you had your seatbelt on saved you from going through that windscreen. I've been through that, and I wouldn't be here today had I not had my seatbelt on. So when I see people who have the little... Yeah, I'm like, why?
By now, I'd come too far and heard too much to let Dave keep living life without understanding the risks. So I organised another day, this time with my friends at an ambulance station. I wanted Dave to speak to professionals and hopefully start to change his mind. I sent the details, and a few days later, he actually showed up to Luton Ambulance Station. There I met Junaid, the chair of trustees of Bex, and his colleague Rakeem. I had one shot to make a difference. I wasn't going to waste it.
Within a minute, the paramedics could clearly see Dave wasn't taking it seriously.
Right.
I don't think you're taking this serious enough. We're not wearing your seatbelt. I'm not really understanding the logic behind it. Since we're in the ambulance station here at Luton, why don't we put you in the back of one so you can actually relive exactly what would happen?
We wanted Dave to experience what it'd be like to be in a crash.
So we threw him on the floor and wasted no time.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Hello there.
Okay, so luckily for you now, we're reenacting this. In reality, you'd probably be so sick that you wouldn't be able to talk to us or so badly injured. And you wouldn't be talking to us so calmly as well. Probably be screaming in pain. So this is our monitor and defibrillator. So this will be able to tell us all sorts of things like his blood pressure, his heart rate, his oxygen levels. If we need to shock him with a defibrillator, we can do that with this.
These lovely shears that we have here will be used to cut all of your clothing off so we can expose, for example, any broken bones that have gone through the skin.
We often worry about dying, which is obviously the worst case scenario. But those patients that survive, they can have horrific life-changing injuries and disabilities.
Dave, so obviously they've come out now. How are you feeling now?
I'm feeling okay. At the moment, I'm still all right.
He thinks it's a joke. This is the problem. He thinks it's a joke. You don't get it.
Well, the thing is, we can try and educate. What you're doing is great to try and explain to Dave what's going on. Sadly, in the worst case scenario, it might not be Dave that we're talking to. It could be his family that we're delivering the news to, that Dave isn't going to come home anymore.
So we put Dave in the back of the van to get a real feel of being in this situation, and maybe just then we'll take it seriously.
So we'd have you attached to the different monitors. We'd be keeping an eye on your heart rate, your oxygen levels, how well you're breathing, your blood pressure, and then any treatment that we give you on the back of the ambulance. We'd be able to bring most of what the hospital does to you here. But most of this could probably be prevented if you had your seatbelt on. Sadly, if you see us, it's not going to be positive. It'll probably be the worst day of your life, or sadly, for some people, the last day of their life. Sometimes that we might have somebody who's sadly died, sometimes every shift, sometimes 2 or 3 patients a shift.
So Dave, after hearing everything now, would you wear your seatbelt?
Possibly.
And this was the first time I felt like we were getting through to him. Dave, how does it feel lying in the ambulance? You've got the trauma lights on now and you're just looking at a ceiling.
I do feel quite uneasy. Like, it's a bit, not scary, but it's hard to explain. I'm like hooked up to this machine here that's constantly beeping. I feel like I'm dying, even though I'm not. I don't really want to be in here, to be honest.
I know what I'm actually doing here does feel really harsh, but at the end of the day, this could save his life.
So the team at Bex flipped the scenario. They had Dave play the role of the responder.
Interlock your fingers. You want the heel of your hand in the breastbone, in the center of the chest as low as you can.
Yeah.
Straighten your arms. Lean over the patient and press hard and fast, twice a second. So this is really tiring. We've been doing this for about 30 seconds. Wow. Now in reality, you might have to do this for you might have to be doing this for 5 or 10 minutes until the ambulance service arrives sometimes.
How does it feel doing that?
This is getting tiring.
You might see people with horrific traumatic injuries. You will have people screaming at you to try and save their life. It's unlikely the patient is going to recover. How's that feel now, Dave? That's been about 2 minutes.
Yeah, we're getting somewhere. Getting tired.
All right, come out.
Okay, Yanni, you happy to?
I can feel it. I can feel you sweating like a madman. You can't even talk, can you?
No.
That's probably 3 minutes at the most. You don't want to be this guy.
No, I don't. I feel sorry for the person that has to do that to me if it was me in this position.
Can you imagine? It was kind of ironic. After performing CPR, he was the one that was left breathless. As I gave it a go myself, I wondered, are we finally getting through to him? All the physical activities he did that day made a bit of a difference, but it still wasn't enough. We had one final challenge for him, and I knew this would be the one to break through.
And this is chilling. It makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up every time I have to do this. I want you just to role play with Yanni. Yanni's loved ones isn't going to come home because they weren't wearing their seatbelt.
This right here was the moment we finally broke him.
Right. Hello there, Yanni.
What's happened?
Unfortunately, I've got some bad news to give you. Your loved one is unfortunately not with us anymore. Whoa. That feels so weird to say. Yeah, no, that's scary. Imagine trying to say that and the look on your face.
So let's reverse it. So now I'm coming to you and say, I'm sorry to say that your son was involved in a car accident and he's no longer with us now. He's passed away, I'm afraid to say. We tried everything we could, but we couldn't save him.
See, I can see that's made you quite uncomfortable, hasn't it?
Yeah, big time.
Imagine someone having said it to your dad or to your mum or to your brother or to your sister that you're no longer here. And forget the seatbelt or non-seatbelt, that you've passed away.
One thing that often haunts a lot of our team when I speak to them is a scream of a parent after you deliver this news. That's different. It's different to being in physical pain, but that haunts you forever. I have to say that's probably the worst part of my job.
And it's those safety elements of wearing your seatbelt. These are little things that we could be using on the way to the journey. You know, so just always wear your seatbelt, Dave.
Yeah, I think so. I'm just thinking now, imagine that has actually happened. Someone's had to walk up to my parents and say, your son's no longer here.
Junaid pulled him aside off camera and made sure he was okay. The reality finally hit him, and that just proves my point. It's so important to speak to someone when you're struggling with your mental health. You don't have to suffer alone. Throughout this whole journey, I had nothing to gain personally, but something as simple as not wearing a seatbelt can cause devastating consequences, not just for you, but for the people who love you. Family, friends, and even emergency responders. No one should have to deliver that news that someone didn't make it. I want to say a huge thank you to every single person in the emergency services who put their lives on the line to help us, especially when we can't help ourselves. There is no salary big enough to repay that kind of service. And to know that some teams like the Bex crew do it all for free, that blows my mind. How much do you think these guys get paid to do that job?
30 grand a year?
30 grand a year.
Yeah, average salary.
They don't get paid.
Not a single penny.
This is voluntary.
Oh wow.
So they're coming out to save people's lives, but they don't actually get paid.
The reason why we've set this up is we know sometimes that people are so seriously unwell or injured that they might die before they get to hospital. So we can add that extra layer of care or treatment that normally they would only get in hospital.
So if people that are watching this and they want to help donate to the charity, where do they go?
You can go to our website, so it's www.bheccs.org.uk, or follow us on social, and there's links there to donate. There's lots of different ways that people can, so it can either be donations on the website or equally they can do raffles. The costs of running a scheme are really significant, and even something like a defibrillator, that's £25,000 which we have to fundraise for, and it's generous donors that allow us to keep running and saving lives.
If you've been affected by anything in this video or in your personal life, check out BetterHelp. Click the link in the bio to get started. Please don't suffer alone. And if you're someone who doesn't wear their seatbelt, I truly hope this video has changed your mind. Much love, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks guys for watching.